Hey guys, welcome back, and I wish just for one day that Kotaku and the rest of games media, rest of games journalism as they call it, would grow a pair of balls and stick with something. If you make a decision that it's time for your journalists to spread their wings and grow up and do some real work and do what they were hired to do, then you should stick with it. Unfortunately, Kotaku has backed off. So the owner of Kotaku, G&O Media, has reportedly backed down from fully shifting back to game guides after the editor-in-chief resigned. And this is predictable because, honestly, it was a little extreme to hear that they were going from no game guides really and just politics to 50 game guides per person per week. There are ways to put out quick game guides and videos and stuff, but honestly, that was never going to happen. The level of how much they needed to pump out was insane. But we have, the backlash from the staff freaking out. Everybody on social media was losing their minds. All these games journalists were all piling on to support the editor-in-chief that resigned and say how inhumane Kotaku is. It's like, well, guys, McDonald's is hiring. Hell, I think it's like $25 and up, an hour to start with. So anyways, this has just been one little sliver of all the Sweet Baby Inc. drama. And Kotaku really is the one that started a lot of this. If you remember, this article from Kotaku, Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. This was written by Alyssa Marcante. Alyssa Marcante, who we all know and love. She's the one that's been trying to go after Melanie Mac, the, I'll say, controversial streamer and content creator, because there are a lot of people who don't like some of the words she uses online, and I'm not too biased one way or the other. I would definitely prefer to stick up for Melanie Mac than Alyssa Marcante, I'll tell you that. But anyways, Alyssa's been going after her, trying to dig up information, basically was talking about needing information about a specific religious and homophobic content creator that she wanted some information on for an article. And then, of course, Melanie Mac confronted her, and supposedly they're emailing back and forth. I'd be very curious to see how that turns out. So now what we have is Alyssa is not happy enough just to go after generic YouTubers or the apparently homophobic evangelicals. Now she's going after Asmongold. Asmongold, who they've tried targeting already for having a character, a pawn, that was modeled after him for the new Dragon's Dogma game. And so this little tweet here from Packer Girl says, Kotaku senior editor-in-chief Alyssa Marcante is looking for people who, quote, regularly watch Asmongold and witness the shift firsthand. And you can see it here. She goes, do I have any mutuals who are regularly watching Asmongold and witness the shift firsthand? DM me with a bunch of E's. Very curious why she'd be going after her. But Alyssa Marcante is just, let's just say, if there's the worst case scenario for the worst person you could have put into a position where you're terrified of your employees and you are absolutely scared shitless of having to fire one of them, I think Alyssa Marcante is that person in that worst case scenario if you ever had that employee where you're like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So Vex Electronica here shared a little side-by-side picture of Alyssa Marcante where she says, Alyssa Marcante, former stripper and cam girl, which again admitted, as you will see in the next few tweets, on her own. Current senior editor at Kotaku has a tattoo that reads, all men are enemies. These are the people controlling mainstream gaming media. And 100% you can see this tattoo right here. All men are enemies, clear as day. I mean, at least she's wearing it and she's owning it. She's not hiding it. I mean, kudos to you, Alyssa, if you see this video. I know you steal our thumbnails and you're rating them, apparently. You're going to have another one after today. It probably won't be as good. I'm not going to go with the devil horns this time. I don't know. Maybe I will. But you go further down here and someone's like, once Kotaku folds, she can always try running tricks on the street again. And Vex responded, she hasn't shied away from stating that she wouldn't mind that, actually. And you see in these tweets here, several of them from across 6-7 years, it looks like, saying, I'm just going to go back to sex work because at least then when I get effed a lot, I get paid well for it. The one before that says, Happy International Whores Day. I used to be a cam girl. Sex work is work. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. It's just not. You're not an effing feminist if your feminist doesn't include sex work, you absolute toenail. And then, oh God, if I ever get fired, I'm going back to bartending and sex work. F this industry. So I don't know why. I know why. I know why she's in the games media, because it's a job and nothing more. I don't know why, if she hates it so much, why she's still there. The money can't be that good. Everyone talks about how overworked and underpaid they are. And then, of course, somebody points out pre-Kotaku and post-Kotaku. And this is You know, you ever see those side-by-side photos of girls in their 18, 19, 20s where they leave home and they've graduated high school. Maybe they worked a year at some little mom and pop shop downtown, or maybe they went traveling abroad for 6 months or over the summer, and they come home and their parents send them off to college and they have all these hopes and dreams. And then they come back a couple of years later and they're transgender, non-binary, on antidepressants, looking like this. So this is her before and after, apparently. I can't verify the dates on these, but something happened. Something happened on the way. So I think the part I find the most interesting is, if you recall, and I'm doing a video on this on my gaming channel, I'll probably try to remember to put the link down below. This wonderful developer, wonderful woman, decided this morning to put out how she is not having white male characters available in the alpha build for her game. So when you first try it out, they're not going to have any white male characters, because that's just, that's just too on the nose. Apparently, these two are buddy-buddy. So Grums points out here, Haven, which is the game that this studio is making, Unleashing Games, says, Haven Game Maker is besties with Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante. I highly recommend Haven by twitter.com. Okay, so Unleashing Games, if you love hating men and DEI in gaming. So here you have it. I don't know if you can see it or not. Alyssa Mercante says, also, if you personally know any decently popular gaming personalities or streamers who have seen a meteoric rise in popularity shortly after adopting more reactionary views, DM me. So this is from the other day where she's looking for dirt. And so a couple hours ago, well, earlier today, Irina Pereira responded and said, let's see how my shitstorm pans out. Talking about female biology is apparently an extremist position. Yeah, no, it's called when you go to work and you talk about your flow and your cycle with your coworkers, and then you go, why have I never been able to do this before? Because you don't do that at work. That'd be like if I discussed my diarrhea with my freaking coworkers. And Alyssa's having another spurgout moment. She's literally going on here to anybody who mentions her and like demanding that they tag her and calling them cowards. The Quartering talked about her and she's like, tag me, coward. And he said, I didn't want to tag you because after failing at sex work, then failing at Kotaku, I didn't have the heart to shame you by name, even after you've made it clear you wish to smear Melanie Mac and Asmongold. So, of course, she's like, goofy ass, I did cam work for a few months post-moving back from England while bartending and saving up to move to New York City before I got a job in marketing. That was almost 10 years ago. There was no failing, baby. I know you're mad you can't subscribe now, but it'll be okay. This is just more of the same from her. If you scroll through her timeline, one after another, she's just retweeting these people who are all supporting her, talking about how she's even got this thing now where she has my thumbnail down here, and she's like, holy effing shit, they did a different devil one. Yes, guys, come on. That's a little on the nose. I already did one. And she's like, I'm very interested in the visual cues all these guys adopt, the font, the speech bubbles. Anyways, I'm collecting all these to do a massive ranking. Somebody else tries to describe her as if she's like gaining power from this. It's like, guys, she's freaking out because her days are limited. Her career is coming to an end with Kotaku. After Kotaku folds, she won't have a job. All this outrage will eventually go away. She will become irrelevant, and there will be nothing left on the internet worth talking about her about. There'll be nothing to mention her for. No reason. Once all this stuff dies down, she's gone. She doesn't have the kind of career that has any longevity because all of these mainstream games media outlets online are all closing. They're all realizing that they've spent millions of dollars to insult their customer base, and it has gotten them nowhere except for, a negative public opinion of them. Anyways, I find this pretty amusing. I'm glad that she's freaking out. It makes for good content, makes for a good laugh. Let me know what you guys think about all this, and I will see you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.